And we are live, Creator Breakfast. We're back. Welcome back to the show. Another week, another Saturday morning. Another Saturday morning. It's a little dark outside. A little Saturday morning. How's everyone today? Hope you had a great week. I hope the YouTube AdSense withholding tax news didn't put a downer on your week. I hope you're getting some clarity on that. If not, today, hopefully we can help shed some light if you are still confused. I just want to welcome everyone who's here already. We're going to get the shout-outs in just a second and get on with it. And before the stream, we had the one and only Insane McLean popping in, as did the Urban Explorer Neil. How are you? Moderators are in the house. And just as we were rolling the intro, it's Paul Peck, Drywall Tube in the house, and people are probably going to start filtering in. I've just sent out the alert on Twitter, sending out the bat signal, so to speak, to all the early birds out there. Those are already up. What depends what part of the world you're in, really, doesn't it? And so we'll get into it in just a second. McDonald's Fries Gamer, hello, and welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming by, popping in. If you're lurking in the back, make sure you say hello to me. Let me know you're here. I'll give you a shout out. Here he is. He's back. Saying g'day. Neil's here. Paul's here. McDonald's is here. Insane McLean might be lurking still. McDonald's Fries Gamer. Yeah, you've been to my stream plenty of times. I know who you are. That's the one I'm talking about, that one. I'm responding to a comment that I didn't even pull up, but there it is. And as usual, we've got the chat sitting there. Looks like my camera's positioned a little bit. Oh no, that'll do. That'll do. I'm not going to get ahead of my mic, am I? I'm not going to go in here or here. I'm going to sit here on my mic so the chat won't go over my face. It's all good. Worrying about things I don't need to worry about. Yeah, how's everyone's week been? I hope it's been good for you, as I alluded to just before. And the big YouTube news of the week is withholding taxes. We're going to get into that tonight. That's tonight's main topic. But as always, with being Q&A, we're going to take all your creator questions, whether it's YouTube tax related or not. It's okay. Everyone else is coming in. K-Sniper Alpha is here saying, yo. Ollie Smith is here. Hello, beautiful people. That's all you out there. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, because I normally do more shout-outs, there's more people coming in early, but, you know, maybe I'm super early today. Maybe I'm just ahead of the curve. I'm going to jump straight to the subscriber shout-outs. All the subscribers that have subscribed, hopefully since the last show, last Saturday, I think so. I know my subscriber count's gone up more than 8 in the last week. So we'll give them a shout out. Let's get this out of the way, and then we can talk about YouTube taxes, answer questions, and anytime you've got a question, you can drop that in the chat, of course. So let's jump over to the thank you stream. This segment's brought to you by all the wonderful sponsors, as you can see across the middle. And what you see here, as I mentioned every week, is our 8 most recent public subscribers on the channel. And so I give them a little shout out. If you happen to be in the, I'm looking at the wrong camera. If you happen to be in the audience, let me know. Just drop a comment in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out as well. And go from the top. The top is the most recent, and we're working our way back down the list. Here we go. Christopher Guzman is here. Thank you for subscribing. Jamal Molina. Houdini. I don't know if it's the Houdini. We'll see. Patrick Gaming subscribed as well. Gabriel. It might be short for Brother Gabriel. Luis Eduardo. Eduardo. Where am I putting an L? I'm putting an L in where there's no L. Brad Teal and Tams Nicholson. Thank you, all the most recent public-facing subscribers on my channel. Big shout-out to you. If you're in the chat, make sure you make yourself known so I can welcome you. And that's it. Brought to you by all the sponsors across the bottom. And, of course, buy me a coffee is an option if you don't have Super Chat available. Some people, it's either Super Chat or nothing on their streams. But for me, you can Super Chat or you can use the Buy Me a Coffee link, which is in the description today. All right, let's get back to the main camera. Here we go. There we go. And yes, that's all good. Make sure I was on the right scene there. Let's jump back into the chat. And Peter Dell has just joined us. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming on by. Looking for your questions. Very quiet on the questions today. I've got some documentation first. We can go through some of the main points on YouTube taxes today, and then we'll take your questions after that. But if you've got them at any time, just drop them in, and we will get to them at some point during the stream. That's how it works. So we're going to go screen share nice and early today. Here we go. Screen share. First of all, I need to open my browser to the right page. That's the one we want. Okay. Screen cap. And I think I'm on this camera. Here we are. There we are. So in the last, I think it was midweek. I think it was like right in the middle of the week. It might have been Tuesday or Wednesday US time. YouTube dropped a couple of videos, one on their creators channel, the YouTube creators channel, one on their Creator Insider channel. Tim Schmoyer, video creators, also dropped one for good measure, just giving some more practical explanation about what all this is about. But basically, they've come out and told all non-US creators to go onto AdSense and update their tax information. Basically, they're required under Section 3, I believe. I believe it's in here. I might not have mentioned it in this part, but yeah, Section 3 of an Internal Revenue Service clause or act. I don't have the exact name here. I thought it was on this page, but it's not. Basically, they're saying that what you need to do is provide tax information so that you don't get charged a maximum of 24% of your total earnings, which is well, that's nearly a quarter. It's just shy of a quarter of your monthly earnings every month taken out of your payment, so you get paid less, and they're going to give that to the IRS. Now, the good news is all you have to do is submit some forms, and in most cases, that amount will reduce significantly. So basically, they're telling you, hey, this bad thing's going to happen, because they know people don't want to lose 24% of their income on YouTube. So they're saying, hey, this is going to happen, but if you want to avoid this happening, come and join with us. update your tax information, provide the required details, and what will happen is then once you've provided those details, then whatever the deemed correct tax rate is will be applied to only the US earnings, which means, say, you only 10% of your YouTube income comes from US viewers, you only get taxed on that 10% amount, and the tax rate is probably going to be less depending on whether your country has a tax treaty with the US. Now, tax is a dry, boring subject, but it's something that we all have to deal with in any part of our lives. So let's... I'm just having a quick look at the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Just going to look. Okay. Nothing too much at the moment. We'll continue through. So basically what happens is we log into our AdSense account, go into payments, manage settings, manage tax information, and there's basically a form that you've got to fill in. Now, I've gone through it. I've actually done it twice because the first time I did it, I needed to change something, so I went back and did it again. Now, they make it as easy as possible because I filled in some of these W-8 forms for the IRS before for, say, some affiliate stuff or some merch. If I'm going for a company in America that's doing merch, sometimes you have to fill these forms in. And so I've done that before where you have to figure it out for yourself. But here, they walk you through and ask you questions. They actually guide you, and you just fill out the information on the screen, and they basically create the forms for you. At the end, you declare that that's all legal and correct. And in most cases, in some countries, people end up with a zero tax rate, which means they're not going to get any tax withheld by Google and YouTube at all. Some people, like here in Australia, I think our rate is 5%, which is a lot better than 24% of everything is 5% of just the US earnings. I know India, a couple of other places are 15%. So it just varies depending on the tax treaty that your country has with the US. Now, one piece of information that you do need, and that is your taxation number in your own country. So in Australia, we have what's called a tax file number. I know in the UK, they call it something different. In every country, they call it something different. But basically, it's a number that identifies you to your government, your tax department, the IRS equivalent of your country, and it allows you to identify yourself to make sure that, hey, this is legit. I am a tax-paying person in this country. I earn money in this country. I pay taxes in this country. So then I obviously don't need to pay the full amount of tax in the US because I'm paying taxes here. All right. Now, there's a few things that we can go into. I don't want to kick because this is pretty dry stuff. But people are asking, well, why is this happening? And this is why it's happening. I'm going to jump to this other page here. If you remember, the US Terms of Service was changed in December last year. It was November, actually. And this part that I've highlighted here was highlighted. And this came up in some discussion. But this was the first part of the paragraph was part of the discussion people got upset about. But the second part is relevant to what we're talking about. Starting November 18, 2020, and this is what's applied already to US creators who have already had to do this. Any payments you may be entitled to receive from YouTube under any agreement between you and YouTube, so that's YouTube Partner Program, channel membership, Super Chat, YouTube Premium revenue, all that sort of stuff. They will be treated as royalties. Because it's deemed as royalties, then the IRS has required, and they're probably gone around the back to Google and said, hey, this money that you're paying out, you got to treat it as royalties under the IRS rules. So you need to change the way you do things. And if required by law, Google will withhold taxes from such payments. So this is what's already happened to US partners now. This is rolling out to everybody else. Back in November, YouTube did say that this terms of service that we're applying to the US is going to be updated to other countries in 2021. So this is what's happening at the moment. Those terms of service are going to be updated very soon, between now and May 31 probably. And in the meantime, they're saying, we want to give you a heads up, give you a couple of months to get it sorted, but you need to provide this documentation now as well. So when we hit the 1st of June, we're able to be compliant with the IRS. So that's basically the overview. I'm just trying to keep it real simple. All right. Back to the main screen. Now, I'm going to jump back in the chat to where I was up to. So let's make sure we've got some things going on here. Now, I'm seeing... yeah, okay. I don't have the mods saw it, but I saw it. A little way back up in the chat. I had to go back to where I was in the chat, and then it made me see. I believe there's a fake Nick Nimmin in the chat, which is laughable, really, because not in a million years is Nick Nimmin going to use that profile picture. And if he did, he probably wouldn't call himself Nick Nimmin. So I'm going to give you one warning. I've gone easy on you this time. Okay, back to the chat. So I don't want to miss any questions. So I've given you sort of the overview of the gist. So if you've got any questions, start dropping them. I'm going to hit any question that are here, give some shout outs as we go through the chat for people who have come in.
Thank you for the super chat.
And once again, Daniel Batal has dropped the $49.99 super chats. Thanks for all your help in my recent live streams, pal. You're awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. That's just popped up. That's strangely like a similar one from a few weeks back. Is that legit? That super chat is random. That's not actually in the chat, is it? That's an old super chat. I don't know how that got generated, but that's an old super chat. Streamlabs, what are you doing? It's an old super chat. Streamlabs is drunk. Okay, I'm officially calling it. Okay, let's get the show back on the road. I see Peter Dell with a question. Always brings the questions. Here we go. With video location, let's say USA, will it help get more views as its population?
Thank you for the super chat.
Now that's a legit one, I believe. I believe that's a legit one. Paul Peck 99. That's not the one I see on my YouTube feed. So I think that's an old one from Paul Peck. I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs today, because I could just see Insane McLean has actually just dropped a super chat. And it's a US $20. We'll see if it actually comes up. I don't know why these old ones are popping up. But Insane McLean dropped a $20 super chat saying, just because. Insane McLean, I appreciate you. I appreciate your support of the community and all that and more. Just the things I see in the chat. Okay, I need to get caught up on my official chat. But back to Peter's question. Getting sidetracked by these fake super chats and the real ones. Question. Video location, let's say USA. Will it help keep more
Thank you
views?
for the super chat.
It's playing old ones. Type 1 talks? It's PST midnight. Thanks a lot. I might have to reset Streamlabs. That's going to distract me every time that happens. So what I'm going to do is just refresh the screen, I guess. Why are you triggering super chats from weeks ago? Yeah, according to the dashboard in Streamlabs, we've just had the one. I don't know what's triggering it to put up the old ones. Anyway.
Thank you for the super chat.
I'm just gonna ignore the old ones, and if I see a new one, I'll talk about it. Oh dear. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just turn the alerts off on Ecamm. Okay, I've tried a couple of videos and it has helped heaps. Any thoughts? Location, as in this video was filmed. So the video location, so this video was filmed in the US. I really don't know. I don't know whether if YouTube look at that and say that wasn't filmed in the US, whether they would treat that as misleading metadata. I'm not sure. That's an interesting question. I don't have an answer for that one because, yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't have an answer. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Napturial. Now, I'm butchering the name now. We say hi every week on the various streams, the Nimmons and the Nimminati. Napturial. Is it Larsio? Is that how it's pronounced? Is it? Do I have to literally pronounce it? That's terrible. All this time and I've never actually pronounced it out loud. All right. Maybe it's YouTube. Maybe it's YouTube that's doing weird things in the super chat. That's strange. I think I just saw an alert go out through a separate system that wasn't through Streamlabs, I should say. Anyway, this is sidetracking me from the stream. All right, here we go. Scrolling down. Tristan, who wants to sell the channel for $1? I don't think anybody wants to sell the channel for $1. People still think it's wrong. People have to pay US tax. Yeah, people don't know, but apparently I was watching Ian Corzine's video that he put out today. He basically said that the section and the rule that they're referring to is actually been around for like ever. So it's because YouTube or Google have decided to, whether that's because the IRS have told them they need to, or whether they've decided on themselves, have changed the ruling as to what we're paying out as royalties, then that's why now this has to apply. And interestingly, it only applies on US income, which means income from US viewers. So if a US viewer generates an ad, so if a US viewer drops a super chat, so if a US viewer that does channel memberships, if an Australian, now this is interesting, if an Australian viewer watches my video or drops a super chat, then the whole taxing doesn't even apply. So it's an odd rule that the IRS want to just collect the money on that. It's interesting. I've never heard of that before. So yeah, Ian Corzine, as a lawyer, was confused by it. So obviously, it stands to reason a lot of other people would be as well. Okay. I'm going to catch up on this chat now. Oh, DJ Screws and Tristan Lex are probably like a tag team random. Insane McLean is back, and spoiler alert, later on in the chat he drops a super chat. Ben Flame says, I want to become famous on YouTube, but I'm afraid of getting hacked. Yeah, that's probably not something I'd worry about too much. I think there's probably a low chance of that. Like, it happens, it's only because people are slack. If you just take all the security measures that YouTube and Google give you, you should be fine. All right. People still here. Next question. Peter Dell with the questions. Doug, what if video location, let's say USA... Is that the same question again? That's the same question again. I don't know why I got the same question. He posted it twice, maybe? $50K... 5 years. For 5 years. But it hasn't happened, has it? So my recommendation is you find a therapist and work that out, because that's not normal. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with you, but just go see somebody. Go talk it out with a therapist. Apply some logic that Yes, it's a possibility, but it's probably a low possibility, especially if you've got your measures in place, your two-factor authentication, all that stuff. You should be good. You should be good. Ran out of money. And yeah, as I said, it's not a new thing, so it's like, I don't know who's run out of money. We don't know. Don't know who that is. Eileen Smith, do you ever use Stream Elements? I've dabbled with Stream Elements, but I've never used it. I just sort of stuck with the Streamlabs for alerts. But yeah, Stream Elements is probably the other go-to for that. So I have used it before. Because you check these stuff out, especially when you sort of get into streaming early on. Maybe if you're a gamer or whatever, you're certainly going to be looking at Streamlabs and Stream Elements. It'll be on the top of your list. You are awesome. Thank you, Insane McLean. This is the point where where I got confused about the super chats. If you're going to get hacked, it would have happened already. That's my prediction for you. If it was going to happen, it would have already happened. Especially if it's been 5 years. All right. Yeah. You either need help and go see that therapist, or you're a troll. That's one of the two things I'm going to say. It's one of two. If there's a third option, I haven't thought of it yet, but you either do need to go see someone seriously, or you're a troll. So good luck either way. Go see someone about whichever way. Go see someone. Go talk to someone seriously. Don't talk to me about it because I'm not a therapist. If you have security issues, go talk to some security experts. Go over and see Snubs on her channel, Shannon Morse. She talks about cybersecurity. Go do it. I'm going to turn this on. I'll turn the alerts back on. We'll see if we get any.
Thank you for the super chat.
I believe that's a legit one. Urban Explorer with the £5 super chat. Coffee pot. You know what? When we get past this show into Nimmin Live, probably in the first half hour to an hour, I'll be looking for a coffee. I will apply that accordingly. Thank you, Neil. Okay. Let's see if we've got some questions coming in. Peter is always good with the questions. When will you be doing an upload of AdSense blocking of low-paying ads and how to block ad networks? Well, I did drop the one that I was talking about last week. I dropped that on Monday, which is just about if you know like an ad that you want to block for whatever the reason is, how you can block that. I'm not sure I haven't looked into the low-paying ads or ad blocking ad networks. I don't know the exact definition of an ad network, but I know that could be like a group of people, a group or a company that buys ads on from Google Ads to place on YouTube, place on websites, different things like that. Something to look into. It might take me a little while to get to something like that. My AdSense one for blocking ads you just don't want because they don't agree with your channel, hasn't done real well. So it's not a topic that people really are asking me for at the moment, but I wanted to put it together because it did come up. That one that I put out on Monday, it came up in conversation, and I thought that it was an interesting topic to do a tutorial on. Thank you, Neil. I know it's Eileen. Mods, thank you. I'm blessed with having, I've got 4 mods in the chat right now. Thank you, mods. because they still come up in Ecamm. I still see the comments that were deleted. I'm probably responding to a few of them, but thank you for dealing with them.
Thank you for the super chat.
And there's finally the pop-up from Insane McLean's earlier super chat. These super chat alerts are going nuts today. Thank you. All right. I'm scrolling down. Midnight Madness 4x4 is in the house. Boom. Obviously in a COVID-safe way, of course. Yes, we had a case today here in Queensland, up the road from where I am. Actually, we had a COVID case. It was a doctor who treated some people with UK variant of the COVID virus, and that lady doctor got. That was only on Wednesday she got it, and she tested positive on Friday. So hopefully they got it quickly and don't have to do too much locking down.
Thank you for the super chat.
Now, it's repeating them. It's just repeated that one again. It's repeating them. Boy, Gen X is in the house. Welcome. I just see some of the comments that I'm going, yo, Doug, do you have a Discord? I actually do have a Discord. I don't know if I've put it in the particular description of this stream, but yeah, I do have a Discord. It is there. I don't use it a lot, but if someone comes in, I do get an alert, and I do sort of pop in and see there. I always have my videos auto posting in a video thread there, so there is a Discord. I don't have a quick and easy link to just drop in the chat right now. Actually, do I? What have I got here? Let me look at my pre-made ones. Did I put Discord on here? Merch. Gee, buddy. Why have I got email list on there? Yeah, I got some crazy ones. Epidemic Sound. Buy me a coffee. Streamer templates. Ecamm. Morning Fame. Got a lot of affiliate link ones, but I don't have my Discord. I will. It might be. If it's in the description, you'll find it in the description. I'll see if I can find it for you later. Matt's in the house. Matt, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Another question. Doug. Is there any way to block, say, India watching my videos, as the CPC in India is the fourth of the rest of the countries? India is the lowest. In my mind, if you block people from watching your videos, you're going to get less views, which means you're going to get paid less anyway. Even if the CPM's low, it's still income. And it's not taking away from any income you might be getting anywhere else. So you don't really need to. And now on YouTube, you can't block like countries. You can't do any like view blocking by country. Now YouTube can do it on their end in regards to, hey, this content's not acceptable in a certain country, like a copyright reason or some other legal reason, where YouTube can apply that to somebody's video on their side, but you can't apply it on your own side, unfortunately. I'm not sure it'd help. I think your income will just go down because any income is better than no income, even if it's pennies on the pennies, as they say. Okay, here's a question from Urban Explorer. What are your thoughts on the cost of streaming software? Personally, I think they are a little costly. If you're not streaming regularly, I can see how it might not be valuable, even like a basic package on, say StreamYard or Restream, one of those. I think they're around similar prices, but for the $20 to $25 a month, if you're not streaming regularly, if you only stream maybe once a month or less, or twice a month or less maybe, it might not be worth your while. So you got to think value versus am I getting good use out of it? Like if you're getting good use out of it, then it sort of makes sense. But if you're not, then it doesn't. Now, for Ecamm, for example, I signed up when it was like a one-time payment. So I'm grandfathered in on that, so I'm not paying month to month on Ecamm, although now Ecamm is on a subscription model. So I'm not paying for that. StreamYard, I think I'm paying when I'm not... I think I pay on occasion if I'm not actually, getting credit for signing people up and stuff like that, which I think that's what they started doing originally. So if I'm getting charged, I'm not noticing it. And I hardly ever use StreamYard. Like for this show, I always use Ecamm. If I do other shows, depending if I'm having guests and stuff, I'll probably jump on StreamYard. So I use both. I think that there is a cost, particularly for the ones like Restream and StreamYard. There's a cost to them. There's server time and server volume, and also API costs to connect to, say, YouTube, Facebook, and that. There's costs involved to them, which they got to obviously pass on to the users. So that's why they do charge. Like they have a free package, and then if you want to be a proper user, then you head on over to the basic or the pro. But yeah, that server time does cost some money. The access to APIs can cost money as well, depending on the platform. So, because it costs some money, I don't know how much that costs them versus how much you use it. How much profit are they making versus what's an expense for them. I don't know. Billy Bop is in the house. Wait, taxes? Yes. The email, if you're a creator, particularly if you're in the YouTube. Now, if you're not yet in the YouTube partner program, because this is an interesting thing, you obviously don't have to deal with this yet. But once you do and sign up for an AdSense account, that's when you'll have to just provide that information. And that should be part of the onboarding process, I would imagine, going forward for new people in the YPP and signing up for their first AdSense account. I'm expecting that that onboarding process will include collecting your tax information. But yeah, there's certain conditions where creators, whether they're in the US or overseas, need to pay some sort of tax on their income from US viewers. So, yeah. I don't know what the IRS deem that, what they have a name for that. But it's an interesting one. Now, if you're in the US and you provide all your information, they don't withhold anything. You have to pay that to the IRS down the road when you pay your taxes, do your taxes. And don't forget, if you're in another country and you've got income, then you have to follow the applicable tax laws in your country for that income. So for me, what I do is when I do my tax every year, I have a printout of every month what I got paid from Google AdSense, and I basically say, hey, this is part of the income, and so they calculate the amount of tax I need to pay based on that and everything else that I earn. And in most cases, I already have it already paid because we have a pay-as-you-go system in Australia where every time you get paid by your employer, they pay that portion of tax to the taxation department, and hopefully they've paid enough tax, they do it correctly, so that at the end of the year that you don't have to pay any more. Quite often they give you some back because you've overpaid. And that's the bit I like. I like having overpaid, and they give me a little bit back. They give me back, a bit of money to spend on cameras and other equipment. All right, back to the chat. Matt's here making some breakfast for the kids. On a coffee. Absolutely. That's the way. Ben Flame says he wasn't trolling, but now he's changed his profile picture. Okay. I don't know how far behind the chat I am, but we'll see. Yeah, I love Ecamm, but I don't stream. I keep saying I want to do a weekly one, but never get around to doing it because I'm unsure what to talk about. Yeah, that's it. Coming up with topics. Like, it's easy for me because I can just go into Q&A mode and just answer questions. Nick Nimmin style. So I probably am taking the easy route, but I try to if there's something to talk about, try and bring a theme. And some weeks it's lean on YouTube news or something to talk about. And so today we're talking about YouTube taxes. Oh, maybe I'm just moving around with that mic cutting out thing. Anyway, we'll see. We will see. Maybe I've got a loose connection on my mic. John Pullum is in the house. John, welcome. What did I miss? You missed everything. Missed everything. You've missed everything from the last 40 minutes. Oh, I'm at the bottom of the scroll. Let's see. He's a quiet thing. And I've caught up with the chat. I thought I was way behind at one point, especially after coming back from going through the documentation. So, yeah, if you've got any questions, drop them in the chat right now. I need to take a sip of water, so let's have a musical interlude really quick. What's a good musical interlude? I need a musical interlude. Somebody help. This will be a good one. I should just press one of my drops. That's easier. I would press a drop, but we'll do this. And I just noticed, as I was looking around, actually, I need to go back to... Let me go back to this one. But this light here, let me move my microphone. Hang on. There we go. That light there, it was blue and it's changed orange because of the $20 super chat from Insane McLean. Changed my light colour. And I just noticed it now. So, thank you. Let me get my mic back into position. Thank you, Insane McLean. All right. Let's listen to the music again, because it's pretty cool. Right after this stream, Niman Live, 9 a.m. Eastern, right after this stream, which is coming up in about 32 minutes from now. Nick Niman, YouTuber Q&A. He'll be doing Q&A. And as a bonus, and because I've got a bonus, I'm going to come back and talk to you in person. As a bonus, after Nick's stream, after he streams for like 3 hours, Nick and, Dee, Niman and Daniel Batal are doing channel reviews over on the StreamYard channel. So if you watch me, head on over to Niman Live after that. Once Nick's done, he's going to send you on over to channel reviews with Dee and Daniel on the StreamYard channel. So there's quite a few hours of YouTube goodness coming up for those. That'll keep you busy on your Saturday morning if you're not already busy with your own things. So, yeah, enjoy. All right. I'm back. In the Garden and the Blessings is in the house. Welcome. Question. So the Super Chat dollars would be counted as your income, and it's also declared as income. Yeah, well, it depends on the tax laws where you are as to what they are classed as income. Like, for Australia, like I'm in a grey area where I could class it as a hobby or I could class it as income. I want to be upfront, and like the last 2 years when I started, since I've been in the YouTube Partner Program, I've declared that income. And technically, I could probably class it as a hobby because I'm not doing it as a business yet. I don't have a business set up. I'm trading as myself, so I could do it as a hobby. But right now, I just get up front. I'll pay the slightly extra tax. It's probably not worth that much more in what I already pay, and I get a tax refund anyway because I already pay more than I need to. So, but yeah, you just have to look at the tax rules in your country and how they apply to what you're doing. And the best way to do that is to talk to an accountant or a bookkeeper who is familiar with tax rules, particularly when it comes to content creation, creators, YouTube, that sort of thing. and also is going to be dependent on whether you're just doing it as a hobby under your own name, or whether you already set up a business of some description. So all that factors into it. So yeah, as of course, talk to a professional. Matt's asking a great question. How is the YouTube membership research going? I've personally put it off. No time. What I have done is I'm ready to go to pull the trigger on it, but I haven't pulled the trigger. The biggest thing I want to work out for me, because I've done things like, I've got members badges, and I've got some ideas for some channel emojis and stuff like that, or what do they call them? Are they called channel emojis? Whatever they are. I've actually got those worked out. What I want to work out is what price points I want to do and what perks go with those price points. That I haven't really sat down and figured out. So I want to do that at some point. And what perks? I saw Charlie, Midnight Madness audio right now. I just turned up the audio on my iPad just to check, but no, it's good. It's cool on my end. Might be something coming out your end there. Next question. Here we go. As well as create a breakfast or other affiliate income earnings, if you have deductibles, do you count money you pay out to other channels in Super Chat? No, I don't. Because again, that depends on what rules you have in your country in regards to deductibles, and that will depend on if it's personal or if it's business. If it's personal and you're just doing it as a hobby, there's no chance of deductibles, particularly in my country. If I set up as a business, there might be some sort of business expensing for that, like I would say if I was buying equipment and things. That might be something I need to look at and set up a business account, set my channel up as a business. I'm probably getting close to where I probably need to think about doing that, because I do have, Google AdSense revenue, of course. As you can tell, people are super chatting. I got ads playing on my videos, so I do have some affiliate money coming in from time to time. It's not a lot, but it's coming in. So those things I got to keep on top of. I got to keep a track of, and if they increase to a certain point, then I probably should be separating those out. Make sure they go into that particular account and start running it as a business, so that the money I spend is coming out of the money I earn. At the moment, it's sort of mixed in with my own finances. So at some point, it needs to be separated. These are the things we all have to think about at some point as we grow on YouTube. John says, I was just on StreamYard's Tech Talk on Tuesday. The folks you're on with Daniel over there on that. I need to get back. I need to get back and schedule that, because I know he asked me last year to go on the show, and I just haven't got back and scheduled a time. I told him, let me look at it, because his show is on in the middle of the night where I am, so I'm asleep, and so I need to schedule it in a manner where the next day I don't have to go to work, because I'd have to be up, do the show, and go to bed at the wee hours. Like, I do that on the weekend with them and live, because I can sleep in on the weekend, but I can't do that on a weekday when I have to have a day job to go to. But yeah. I haven't caught one of his shows in a while too. I need to jump back on and watch some of those replays. Old Neil is stripping van wheels today and repainting them. Awesome. Selling it on eBay. Yeah. I should come up with my own in Canva, mind you. And so I've got I don't know where I've got them. It's probably I can't show them easily. Actually, I can show you sort of what they look like. I know a way of triggering that. So let me go over here and go to my alert box on StreamYard, because I've got one of the channel emoji things on set up for when I got memberships activated. So it gives you this alert here. Let's see if this works. Here we go. This is a fake one. This is a real membership, but it should look like that. There we go. So see the glasses there? That's what the channel emojis are going to look like. They're going to be different color glasses because obviously my profile picture on my channel, I've got my sunglasses. I'm sort of looking over the top of the rims. It was suggested when I put it out on a community post for ideas when we're talking about memberships, and somebody suggested sunglasses. And I'm like, yeah, I got nothing else to go with, so I'm going to run with that for now. If I get a better idea, then I'll replace it. But I've gone with that. I've got different coloured ones set up, ready to go, ready to upload to YouTube when I pull the trigger. Did it myself in Canva. Hey, it happens. It happens all the time. It happens. It happens. All right, here we go. We got about 13 minutes on the clock, on the Niman Live clock. That's when I got to finish. So I give myself a buffer. I give myself a bit of overrun on that as well. So if I run over that a bit, I'm okay still. I know Nick's starting right on time, 9 a.m. Eastern today, according to the scheduled post. So yeah, keep dropping your questions. We're running out of questions. I hit the top of the chat. If you have any questions about live streaming or questions about whatever, drop them in the chat. Let me know what you got for me. Anything exciting happened this week? I'm just trying to think if there's any other YouTube news. It was pretty quiet. I looked at TubeField earlier today just to see if there's anything else. I think the only other thing that I might have brought up, but I wasn't going to, but I could mention, is that Teespring, which is now apparently just called Spring, they dropped the T, probably because of what they're doing now, is Teespring has now become Spring, and on YouTube, they're not just offering merch, but they're giving you opportunity to sell digital products as well. So whether it's an ebook or something like that, something like digital that people can download, you can now do that through the merch shelf as well on YouTube via Teespring, or now Spring. So Teespring's now Spring. Spreadshirt is now Spreadshop. Does anybody else want to change their name? So that's an interesting piece of news, but there wasn't too much other news on TubeFilter this week. Surprisingly, they didn't even have an article on this tax thing. I don't know why. You'd think they would have covered it, but they didn't cover it. Or unless I missed the article, but I couldn't see it. I just wanted to see what their take was, and there was nothing. Now you better get over there. Wield the ban hammer. Where are we? Oh, Sam McLean, great question. How do you get over the not being good on camera syndrome? I firmly agree with Nick Niman on this one because, I was pretty... If you watch some of my earlier videos, like even my best performing video that pops up every time I go to my channel because it's my featured video, every time I see that, I'm like, oh my goodness. And that's like my best performing video, and I'm on camera and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a little bit rough. And I know my earlier videos were rougher than that. So just by doing and continue doing, like, you don't notice a change over time, but when you go back and look at something older and then look at something that you've done, it's actually, you do notice a difference when you compare like one from a long time ago with one from recent. There is a difference. You do improve by doing. And not being good on camera, I sometimes will fumble on live streams, I'll fumble my words all the time. I'm just going to go with the flow. Like, I just go with the flow now. With live streams, I'm just like, I'm on auto. I just do it. And I don't worry about it too much anymore. Sometimes you think about it a little bit more when you're filming pre-recorded stuff because you're doing takes and you're doing different things. Did I say that better? And then you watch the edit and you go, oh, that's a bit rough. I want to scrap that, or I want to try it again, or whatever. So it's just by practice, literal practice, and doing it repeatedly over time. And the more often you do it, probably the quicker you get good at, getting better. And over time, it's interesting you call it a syndrome because it's a little bit like, I know we sometimes talk about this on Clubhouse and different places. I know somebody dropped it in one of the Facebook groups a couple of days ago, the last couple of days, was asking about imposter syndrome. And you wouldn't believe how many people said, yeah, I've had that. I've thought that about myself. So it's a real thing. And it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that you're human, I think, in most regards, because there's a gap between where we want to be and where we are now. From where we are now to where we want to be, there's a gap. And the only way we can do it is by moving forward. And that goes with skills. We've got to go and get skills. We've got to go practice skills. If I'm going to be a good soccer player, I've got to go practice on the pitch. I can't run out and kick the ball around and collapse on the ground after 5 minutes because I've never trained. I'm not gonna get a call up for Man United or Liverpool or any of those guys. So you just got to put in the work. And I think over time, as you put in the work, you start to hopefully forget the self-consciousness, and then you get more. Then that self-consciousness is replaced by confidence. So you get self-confidence instead of being self-conscious. And it's just, I think it's just a process in life with anything. It's like starting a new job. First day of a new job, you might have only met the person who interviewed you, or maybe the boss or something like that. You haven't met any of the other workers, and so your first day you're learning the ropes. You don't know. It's like, am I gonna be able to do the work? Am I gonna be able to understand it, figure it out, and do what they've employed me to do? It can be like that. It can be like that on YouTube. And John says, that's cool about Teespring Spring. I'm wearing a hoodie I bought as a sample from it. It's great. I can't wait to get 10,000. Yeah, there's two things I want for 10,000. I want merch shelf is one of them, and the other one is stories. I like the stories idea in the sense of it's short and it's expiring, and it goes out to people who are on your channel, your subscribers, people who get notifications, and then other people might see it as well. Merch. Be able to integrate the merch, I think it's a great idea, because sometimes it's hard to figure out how to push the merch. Like, you could probably push it in a live stream. You can mention it in a live stream. You can say, hey, look at the merch. I'm wearing it, whatever. And remember to do it, whatever. But if you've got a shelf, it's always there. You don't need to refer to it all the time, but people see it as they come to the view page or the channel page. They see the merch tab. They see the merch shelf under your videos. It just makes it naturally more conscious to your viewers that it's ready to go. So I'm already with Spreadshop, so once I get that, I'm going to integrate my Spreadshop with my YouTube channel. I think as soon as I get it, as soon as it's available to me, I'll hook that up. Not in much of a hurry with memberships, but certainly the merch. There's no reason why you would delay on it. As soon as it's available to you, just got to come up with some good designs. That's it. All right, where are we? I noticed that TubeBuddy are going heavy on Instagram. Don't know if there's anyone else noticed. I think that's because they got a social media manager. I think it's Judah that does that. So I think Instagram's one of his jams. So he probably goes harder on Instagram than he maybe does on Twitter, and places like that. So yeah, there's always stuff from. I don't go on Instagram that much, but every time I go on there's always something from TubeBuddy. So yeah, because I think Judah's background is Instagram. He's Instagram a lot more than maybe say Twitter or YouTube, although he does do YouTube as well. Paul Peck. You never know. I'm not sure what that's your response to. I've been watching stage fright videos to try and see if I can get over it from them. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those, so it'd be interesting what angle they come at for that. Watching you guys since March of last year, I've finally found my passion niche, so I've got to swallow fear. Yeah, sometimes What is it? What is it? Sean Cannell says, punch fear in the face and hit record, or punch fear in the face and go live. So sometimes you got to take that leap. It's that leap, definitely. John says, yeah, stories would be great. No need for a thumbnail, etc. I've been doing some shorts, but nothing really took off yet. Yeah, I had one that really, really moved, and it was in that sort of that niche area of my channel that always does well. And but I've had others, not so much. So pretty random. I was going to do one today, and then when I looked at the app that was updated, there wasn't really anything new to talk about. So I was like, oh, okay, I won't do a short on that one. Do that? Yeah, they do. You go back and put them on afterwards for the replay, which I don't generally do, even though I actually have an end screen bar that I put up, and I could. Well, it doesn't have spots for videos, but it says, I call it the end screen. It's the screen I show up when I'm closing the show. And but yeah, you can go back and add an end screen to live streams afterwards. You can't put one on beforehand because the video doesn't exist yet. But yeah, for the replay, it's certainly a good idea. And I'll put my hand up. I'm guilty. I don't do it myself. I should do it. I don't really touch much of my live streams once I'm done. And then a month or two after they're gone up, I unlist them anyway, in most cases, because I don't mind if a recent one gets recommended, like last week's or this week's or something like that, but if they get dated, I'm talking about something that happened months ago, then live streams aren't really relevant, and I don't want that to get recommended over something that might be an actual, reasonable length video, like a 10-minute video or something like that. John says, I used to have stage fright, and my drama teacher kept making us get up on stage without warning. Yeah. So sometimes, like I'm an introvert, okay? So I don't like put my hand up and volunteer. I'm not like one who's at school say, yeah, I'll do it. I want one to say, come up into class and speak. Like, can you come up and tell us about, this mathematical equation, this science theory. I wouldn't put my hand up. Like, if the teacher called to me, then you got to do it. But I would not volunteer. So I want to, over time. The odd thing is, when I was in high school, I did enjoy drama, and I'm an introvert. I don't really like getting in front of people, but I didn't mind the drama and sort of the acting aspect of it, which is really strange. But I really didn't get an opportunity because I wasn't put in a major role. I think I had a very minor role in the one play that we had to do in drama. I think I had one line. So it's interesting. Anyway, it's interesting how we are, introverts and extroverts. It's amazing how many people say on YouTube, I'm here on YouTube, but I'm actually quite introverted. You're very quiet. Yeah, and you can probably see that. Like, I'm in a lot of I don't go to a lot of clubhouse rooms because I'm usually busy. But when I'm in there, I'm not usually jumping up on stage, putting my hand up, and saying, "Hey, I want to say something," or "Hey, I want to ask a question." I don't usually have questions most of the time, but I'm there. I'll listen. I'll figure it. I'm there to clear. I'm here. I'm taking in information. But I would like to get up on stage in Clubhouse, and I just had a bug fly in front of me. I would like to maybe run a room or moderate a room or something like that. Maybe answer some questions along the way. But I don't particularly put my hand up to say, "Hey, thank you for bringing me up," and I have a question for Viper, because Viper's in all the rooms. I have a question for Viper. How long have you been the captain of Team Apple? I'm an introvert. Yeah. When I'm in front of people or out and about, I'm great at interacting with people. But I'd rather be home. Yeah, I have to push myself a bit when I'm in public. Haven't been too many places. I think the last place I went anywhere where I was hanging out with people was probably Vid Summit 2019. Like here when I'm at home, I'm like at work and I'm at home. And only in between is like public transport, going to the shops. I don't really go anywhere and do anything. Been to a few, Christmas with family and stuff, but that's family, so that's different. Things like that, family things. So, yeah, it's been a while. And yeah, so I would be rusty in that situation. Yeah, and I would rather be at home. I spend most of my time here. So, when COVID hit, it's not a bad thing. It's like, oh, if we get locked in, I don't have to go to work. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I do have to work from home. Neil is a hand-up person, loud and in your face. Absolutely, I can attest to that. Even when Neil, when I get on, when you're doing chaos and stuff, it was like, yeah, I was very quiet-spoken. I need to force myself. If I get on live stream with someone, I have to be careful that there's not too many people on screen. Like if I could do a one-on-one, that's pretty good. Or 2-3 people. But if I get like a group of people, then obviously the extroverts are going to come out. They're going to be, exerting their extrovertiveness. And I'll stay quiet until someone calls on me. I'll say, yeah, okay. Here's the answer. So those things happen. And that's sort of and that's the thing with Clubhouse and maybe going on a live stream with multiple people is like sometimes that introvertness kicks in. The extroverts do the extrovert thing. They dominate the conversation, and then sort of, sometimes I don't know if I've actually got something to say in every instance. So you sort of wait until you're either called on or you really feel passionate about something. You jump in. I'm going to jump in even though I'm introverted. So that's all good. Well, it's that time. That counter has dropped to 0 that I can see right there, which means, and I'm looking at the clock, in 8 minutes' time, Nick Nemeth is going live on his channel, so we're going to start wrapping things up. I see Unbothered Kid here saying, hi, welcome to the stream. We're just wrapping up. We're about to head on over to Nick Nemeth's channel for his live stream. What's Neil saying? We all remember the pool in LA. I was there. That was Neil doing his thing. Jumping in the pool in front of people in the middle of the day. Which doesn't sound so bad when you say it that way. It's like, of course, jump in the pool in the middle of the day. With his clothes on. I believe you were fully clothed. Please drop a link to Nick Nemeth. All right. I'm going to make sure that's happening for you guys. I'm going to get the exact video link and drop it in the chat right now. This is where we're going right after this. As my friend Travis says. That is the link to Nick Nemeth's channel. Remember, Nick's coming up right now in about 3 hours after that. In 3 hours' time at midday Eastern. D. Nemeth and Daniel Batal doing channel reviews on the StreamYard channel. So that's over on StreamYard. So make sure that you go and check that out as well. So that's got you covered probably for the next 5 hours or so. Because I know last month when they did their channel reviews, they went for a couple of hours. Nick will be going for probably about 3 hours. So it's balls to the wall Saturday. YouTube information, channel reviews, all coming at you from the Neminati. Unbothered Child, just as we're closing, I love your vids. Now I'm a great moderator live stream. Yeah, I'm glad that the moderation videos are helping people out there and sort of giving them some tips and help them thinking about being a moderator, because I'm a moderator on quite a few channels. We've got Country Mindfuls come in as well. Thanks, Doug, for devoting your time and energy to us. Not a problem. And Pam's just dropped in as well. Hey, sorry I missed most of you. This taxes thing is huge. I filmed mine the best I could. Well, that's all you can do. But there are really no explanations what I might be doing wrong. Yeah, reach out on Facebook. If there's any question anybody has for specific questions, if you're in Chib Ritual or on Daryl Leaves' channel or YouTube tips and tricks. What's it called? I don't even know what it's called. I'm a moderator over there. Drop it in there because that's a good place where I can help people. And even if it's on my Facebook page, the Doug Hewson YT Facebook page, if you've got questions about the tax thing, if you say, hey, I met this question, what does this mean? Because I've filled it in twice now. I can sort of help you, point you in the right direction. There's one part that sort of got me confused. I figured it out. So, if I got confused, I'm sure many other people will. So let me know. Reach out to me on Facebook for the exact, hey, I met this question. What does it mean? And if I'm awake, I can maybe get to you quickly. I'll get to you as quick as I can. But Facebook's a great place for that. So yeah, either on my Facebook page or on any of the YouTube groups that I moderate on. Daryl Leaves, YouTube and Marketers one. The Tube Ritual group is a great one. And the YouTube Talk and Tips, I think it's called. It's one of those. There's general info in the house, and we're pushing this to the wire today. People are coming in right on the end. Kevin says, I have a problem with submitting my tax. I got a mistake. I did not claim a treaty at first, and I submitted the second time, and now it's on review, waiting approval. Yeah, I did mine twice, so I think you'd be right. They probably just need to check it through. Like, mine approved pretty quick. I think it just probably depends on your country as to how quickly that it gets approved. If there's a treaty applicable, you should definitely claim it because that will hopefully lower your tax rate on any of the three areas that it asks you about, which I think is your three options. One is motion picture royalties, one is copyright, and one is something else. But basically, this is the secret sauce. I'll give it to you now, right at the end of the stream. Tick all three. It'll apply the lowest rate for each one. And whatever one is actually the correct one for you, that's the one that your pay goes through. They go, okay, this pay is applicable to this one. Your order, then if you've ticked all three and claimed all three, whatever income is part of each one, because you could have income that's part of one and part of another, because there was at least two that applied to YouTube. That will apply the lowest rate applicable for your particular country, your tax treaty. So instead of being 30%, it might be 0, it might be 5, it might be 15, it might be 10, it might be 7, it might be 12, but at least it's lower than 30, So that's what you should do. Okay. One question, real quick. I can do the pinned question. Once you've done a comment, you go over to the three dots on the right, click on that, and go pin comment. So if you're the streamer, you can do it. You can't do it if you're just commenting on a stream, but if you're the streamer, you can pin any comment in your stream, whether it's your own or somebody else's, by going in, clicking the three dots, pin comment, goes to the top of the chat. That's how it's done. And Cyprus versus Philippines, it does get tricky. It just depends on like where are you when you're doing your YouTube stuff, and are you paying and on that income, are you currently paying taxes to Cyprus or Philippines? You might need to talk to some tax people about that, particularly in the Philippines and in Cyprus, who know all about that, the ins and outs of that. But as to which one your treaty would go under would be probably where you're most likely being paying tax or where you have a tax ID. But yeah, talk to, if when you split countries like that, talk to somebody who is an accountant or a tax professional. All right, we're going to wrap things up because the Limit Live's come out right now, and I'm jumping in and answering last-minute questions. Appreciate them all. Appreciate you all. But make sure you follow that link that I posted. I'm going to post it again. To Nemen Live right now. That's where I'm going because I have to moderate. This is Doug, and I will catch you later.
Stay tuned for Nemen Live right after the stream. Nick will answer your YouTube questions live.